have your company, Jim. We've been doing this show for a number of years. It's been the most extraordinary 24 hours that I can remember. Of course, the story continues to unfold around the Essendon Footy Club, and in particular their coach James Hird. Big story in the Age this morning, very serious allegations. Damien Barrett's been across this all day, spoken to all the major players, including Stephen Dank's legal team. We have a statement from them tonight. All of that, much more. It is a changing, moving landscape, Jim. We're right across it tonight.
Absolutely, Gary, and plenty of headlines around your own club during the course of this week, with the dismissal, of course, of the CEO and the fallout from all of that. So we will also get to the bottom of exactly what's happening at the Melbourne Footy Club.
And, of course, that also involves our man Sam Newman, who had to tip a certainty. Yes. Of course, went for the Melbourne Footy Club last week, only missed out by 24 goals.
Yes.
He will pay the price tonight live. I've made sure he pays. That's going to happen tonight, live in the studio. It is a massive show. Stay with us. Let's get into it.
It's great to have your company in the Docklands precinct here in Melbourne for the Footy Show. And when these big news stories break, we are going to be all over it. Don't worry about that. But let's get the panel out here first. And what about the Tigers? Absolutely flying. No better player wears their jumper than this man. Brett Deledio is here from the ticket. And from the West Coast Eagles, the best ruckman in football. Make him welcome, Dean Cox. Premiership superstar from the Hawks, Brownlow medal winner, 300 gamer, Shane Corbett. That's what I'm talking about!
I'm playing the card. I am playing the card.
You're not playing
My certainty card, West Coast Eagles.
Yes.
He's walked the plank with a certainty card.
First in, best dressed.
Ridiculous.
I'm doing it.
Sit down. Speaking of certainty cards, as we said off the top, our man Sam Newman went with the Melbourne Footy Club last week, and unfortunately Essendon prevailed and he will pay the price tonight. I've not seen him tonight, and I don't particularly want to, because I've got a feeling something's coming, so you can welcome him. I won't. The 300-game superstar, John Sammy Newman.
Now, guys, let me tell you this. I've done a bit of a ring round, gone through my address book. A lot of people weren't available, but these people mightn't be talented, but they said they'll give till their heart bleeds, guys. They'll give and give. These are the people that can rescue us. Are you with us? Will you be with us?
Yes.
Look at it.
Don't worry about Mitch Clark, mate. I am the answer up forward. Kick at the Billy.
I've got strategy.
Yes, good on you.
I've got Tony Liberatore.
Who else have you got in your
Connor's here. I don't know what he'll do.
Light from Daniel.
Yes.
Manu, I think.
He'll bring this. Sam's twin brother. And his next wife.
Now, guess they mightn't be the sharpest in the bunch, but I tell you what, they've got pump.
I tell you,
Foss, can I just say this year? I think I've got over the journey, and it's a good 20 years, pretty good at reading the body language of our great man here, and I'm not sure he's that happy with
Well, are you with us? You've gone at arm's length.
honestly.
Gary, you've tried to distance yourself. What do you think?
Oh, Foss.
Sorry, lads. Coach, you better go now. He's starting to get the shit.
You reckon you can win, Manu? You reckon you can win? Definitely! Yeah! Put your arms up! That's funny. That is funny.
Yeah,
that's
funny.
very
That's
funny.
really funny. Now listen, what's funny for me anyway is that you tipped Melbourne as your one certainty last week, and we know there are ramifications when you get it wrong.
Could I just say, Gary, I had a letter, a phone call and a letter from a neurosurgeon. No, this is... who said he was watching last week's show,
I don't
and he said there are deleterious effects of sniffing ethanol fuel from that monster truck.
Oh, yeah.
He said one of them is that your deductive skills drop away.
Really?
And your power for making rash statements increases. Really? I said, exactly. He said, have you made any rash statements? I said, Doc, well may you ask. I tipped the demons.
Yeah,
he said that would be it.
I hope you've had a very nervous week since Saturday night.
I tell you why I've had a nervous week, Gary.
Why?
People won't believe this, but as I sit here, I don't know what it is.
I know, and that...
and I'm going to tell you this now. If it is ridiculous, and you know the things that I don't like, if it is ridiculous, I promise you this I tell you, listen to me.
Shit, I say.
I tell you what, if it is stupid, if it is completely stupid, and you know that I don't like, I will leave.
You'll do what you're told.
I'll go home and I'll watch
You'll
you
do what you're
from
told,
home.
and I'll
Foss.
sit there and laugh at you.
Suck it
Let
up,
me
Fossil.
just say this.
Shut up.
We certainly won't give you something that's easy to do, of course.
No, but...
And let's go back a couple of years when you decided to take the P1SS out of the Melbourne Footy Club.
Did too.
And you decided this was their game plan, and you just dropped mice into an oval, one on the piecing it there, and they just ran around all over a board, and you thought it was tremendously humorous.
No, that wasn't funny at
As
the
it
time.
turns out, nothing's changed.
No, that's not funny.
I tell you...
So, as a result of
I
that...
tell you who are delighted.
What?
I tell you who are delighted to be a sponsor, that's Webjet.
Yeah,
Because they are delighted that Melbourne are going so
They're
badly,
magnificent.
because every time there's a press conference, whose name is
worry
plastered
about
behind the
Webjet.
headboard? Webjet.
What you need to worry about is what you'll be doing in about an hour.
Here we go.
Yeah, we saw those little mice, and it had me thinking. So tonight, Force, you will sit in this seat with that first box over your head, and you'll put your head in that box, and we will drop.
What am I doing?
You'll put your head in that box over there, that Perspex box, and for every goal that Melbourne got beaten, we're going to put a mouse down that box, a mouse down that box. By the end of it, you'll have 24 of the little fellas running around reminding you of how big a dickhead you are.
That's it, and it's a real tight Perspex box. There's not a lot of room in there.
No, you can't move, so suck that one up, old
Oh, you
Force.
wouldn't get your fat head in there.
Oh, I tell you what.
What is that again?
24 mice in a Perspex box. Don't worry about it, we'll show you a
We'll
little
get
bit
that to you later.
That
but,
is coming up, don't worry
Oh,
about
and
that.
we can't wait for that. But, ladies and gentlemen, as I said off the top, the Richmond Football Club could not be in better shape. They're 2-0. The yellow and black army is just up and about. So welcome Brett Deledio, of course. Now, are we keeping the lid on lids, or are things getting a little out of hand down at Punt Road?
No, definitely keeping the lid on it. It's very early in the season, as we all know, but going well. Happy to be winning. It's a lot better than being 0-2, being 2-0, so going well.
Life's good, mate. Yeah, exactly, Coxie. We are the same as Melbourne at the moment. Let's talk about the off-season, though. I mean, life's great. The Tigers are winning, and you got yourself married in the off-season, which is a fantastic thing. The beautiful Katie. Where they are, this was up in Byron Bay, I think, was it not?
Yeah, up in Byron Bay. The best part about it, Katie looked very, very good, and my mate Sammy looked after me with my suit, so I looked sharp as well. So, a big thank you to him.
Just got a little plug in off the top there, Lid.
Nothing wrong with that, is there? No, good tonight too, I reckon.
You do, you look very sharp. I'll tell you what I enjoyed on the weekend. I enjoyed the win, but I enjoyed the work of our favourite, and particularly James's favourite, Jake the Push-Up King, who all of a sudden forgot that he was a small crumbing rover and thought that he was Jack Ruvold. Have a look at this effort and have a listen to our man Jim's commentary. He almost blew the front of his trousers out. Have a listen.
Trying to dive forward, Newman. Kick off the face of Gilbert. Here is Deledio around his body. Oh! Push up! Oh,
dropped
him.
it.
Come on, push up. Look at the height he got, the little champ.
Jim.
Oh, he nearly took mark of the century. That would have got past Disco Roach.
There's no question about that. Is he getting ahead of himself?
Yes, very much so. You've created something here, Jim. Ever since you started getting around him, as you say, he's gone to a new level, and unfortunately hasn't grown another 3 or 4 inches, but he's going well, little fella, and you know, heart and soul of our side.
And a lot of fighting on Twitter with the Richmond boys. Jakey King sent out a tweet about this man over here, the Lids. Have a look at this. Players who are on the most money at the club won't even shout at coffee. Brett Delidia, that is you. You're not happy with that.
Hashtag things the push-up hates.
Absolutely, and he's very happy with that at the moment. So it's gone nuts, really, hasn't it?
It has. Something Jack Rewalt created. He things push-up hates, but my personal favourite was Alex Rance's things push-up hates. He's drowning in a puddle. I thought that was quite clever. So.
Because he's small, Gary. Because he's a bit small. Anyway, we've got the top 4 from the boys right here. Things push-up hates. When Koch grabs his hand and runs through the banner with him before realising it's not a child, it's a small child. I'll get that out. Things push-up hates. This is Daniel Jackson, the top shelf of the supermarket. Things push-up hates. People always asking if he plays Arthur on the Footy show because he's small like me. And things push-up hates. The grass tickles his balls when he runs. That's pretty good. We love it. Get around the push-up king. He's a star. We love him.
Can't do any of that, but we love his work. We look forward to the big game this weekend. We look forward to Dean Cox being on the panel always. Coxie. Come over early, mate. The big one against the Demons at the MCG. You were here a couple of days early.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Obviously not the start we wanted, being 0-2, and yeah, hopefully you can just put a 4-quarter effort together, which we haven't been able to do in the first couple of weeks.
And a big off-season for you too, Coxie, of course. You've had a brand new addition. I think we might have an early photo of Coxie's beautiful new baby. That's only been funny. This is the beautiful Charlotte. There she is. Look at beautiful Charlotte Cox.
How Charlotte changed your life, Coxie?
Massively, I think. Like most parents will know, it's a new life, and I think that's what you put on the planet to do, is to have a family, and family's really important to me. And yeah, no, a few sleepless nights early, but she's really good now.
And you've had, just before Shane gets in the footy, you've had some injury issues, haven't you? The team I'm talking about. You haven't had the full team on the deck, so you're going to get a couple back this week?
Yeah, get Kerr and Lacroix back. So
great.
Jeez,
yeah, which is really good news. Yeah, come back after a week. So.
What are you feeding him?
Yes.
He'll wear a massive guard, and but he did the full training session on Thursday. This morning and got through fine, so he'll play against Melbourne.
Did I hear you say you were over early preparing, hoping you could put together a good 4 quarters of football, playing
that's
Melbourne?
Right, Sam.
Mate, I reckon you could get over at half time. Wander out, have a bit of a kick round. I don't think Melbourne have reached the bottom yet, Gary. I reckon there's a 200-point defeat in the offing here.
And Nick Natanui not playing, of course.
And thank you for that, Gary.
Very quick on the front foot, Gaz. But yeah, no, he's hopefully only a couple of weeks away. So he'll step up his training program the next few weeks, and hopefully can withstand that, and the groins are okay, and be back apart amongst it.
You did a presser on the during the week, I believe, and they asked you 15 questions about Nick Natanui.
Yeah, it's pretty stock standard in Perth. Every question is revolving around Nick and when he's back. So a lot of people are saying no Eagles, no Nick, no Eagles.
What are you, chopped liver,
Sam.
big man?
They quit, yeah. I'm on the way out, so he can take the long line.
I was going to say, they're a 4-time All-Australian.
There's been a lot of criticism with the Melbourne players having a lot of facial hair, but what about the West Coast Eagles? Have a look at these boys. Run through them, Big Dan Cox. Have a look at them.
Obviously Will Schofield to the right, Chris Master in the middle, and Josh Kennedy. He's got a really small head, Josh. So I think that's the reason with the beard, Sam, is to try and elongate his head at some...
competition?
No, there's no comp.
Probably.
But Scurry would be winning. Yeah, Scurry's actually going to shave it on Wednesday, trying to raise money. So if he gets over 5,000, he'll shave it.
He's almost to blame for the beard epidemic. He was the first to have the big Ned Kelly, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he was the first to start, and I think he's the only one that hasn't groomed it in some way. So,
what do you think of them, Force?
Mate, I was just going to say, Jim, you're glad I've got nothing to do with the club. If I had anything to do with any club, it is the most puerile, stupid... What are you doing? Are you starting to grow one?
No.
Well, what is that shit on there?
I shaved this morning.
All right. Now, Gary,
Yes.
I wouldn't. It is just a ridiculous, puerile look, childish and stupid, and I wouldn't let anyone play in a beard like those
What
people
about a
have.
moustache? You used to have a moustache.
No, Shane, I hope your hearing's still with us. I said beard. I said
part of
beard.
it?
I would not let people... It is... What is it? It looks stupid. It takes away
As long as they're getting a
the...
kick, Foss, surely, isn't it?
Well, it takes away the focus. It's just a puerile, stupid look for no reason. It's just exhibitionism.
It is one of the big issues in footy, but the biggest...
Well, would you let people play on your
I couldn't
side?
care less if they ran out with a full beard over their head, as long as they could get a kick.
Gary had to shave as the players were running out. Here's Dave.
Tim's cracked his first joke for 6 years.
I'm a bit
which is
worried
good.
about our man tonight.
suck it up,
Tim,
Gary.
shut up. We're going to take a break. I'm telling you, forget about Melbourne for a minute. We'll get to them shortly. But right now, the biggest story is the Essendon Football Club. Damien Barrett joins us next. We go through the whole James Hird situation.
Tonight on a turbocharged footy show, we delve into the latest controversial chapter in the Essendon saga. Croft takes street talk to Parknell Street. What?
I'm scared. This is intense.
Did you say tails?
We honour a former demon with the prestigious baggy blue, plus we preview another massive round of footy. And the big one, the Foss, a Perspex box, and a truckload of rodents. Jeepers! What a show this is! I tell you, it's enough to get you dancing.
Yes, welcome back to the Footy Show. Thanks, of course, to Nissan Navara, Home Timber and Hardware and sportsbet.com.au. I'd like everyone to please welcome Damien Barrett, who's been good enough to join us on the Footy Show. Now, let's not forget, before we even get underway with this, that you were the source of the breaking of this story a fair way back when it first came to light that things were heading down this path at the Essendon Football Club, and then today we awake to this in The Age. Let me start by asking you, when you broke the story back at the start of the season, could you have believed that it would lead to the day when we'd see that as the front page of one of the metropolitan papers here in Melbourne?
No, and the headline you referred to there is Hird injected drugs. And for the next few minutes, we'll take this story and this entire story apart. But let's just, I think, as you say from the outset, let's just recap what was in that particular article. It's a very explosive article written by two very, very, very excellent journalists. Hird injected drugs. Amongst the claims made, and these are just a few of the many, many claims, that Hird accused of injecting the WADA blacklisted drug hexarelin, injected by sports scientist Stephen Dank, that players were given an anti-obesity drug, which the current WADA committee suggests should be banned. Many of the supplements used are still undergoing clinical trials. Amongst the claims made by Stephen Dank in this particular article is that players were given pig's brain extract and a few other weird bark extract, for example. Hird supported that Dank's work and encouraged him to push the boundaries. We'll discuss that soon as well. And that Dank dismissed the suggestion that his program was not authorised by the club's CEO and the football operations manager. They're just a snapshot of what it was a very explosive article in The Age today. And we'll delve into it pretty soon.
We certainly will. This is James Hird this morning. This story started, of course, when The Age came out. An enormously difficult time for James Hird. He's had to front the press on a number of occasions and he's limited in what he can say because of the investigation that's going on. The cameras were at his house when he woke up this morning. There was a media throng again when he arrived at Windy Hill today. Limited with what he could say, of course. They trained for well under an hour. Hird and the rest of the Essendon team then got on a plane and are over in Perth as we speak right now. A man that's been right across this from the early hours of the morning is still out at Windy Hill is Tony Jones, the number one newsman on television from Channel 9 News, and TJ's been good enough to join us, Tone. An extraordinary day. You've been across it from the early hour of the morning and we dare say it's going to be ongoing.
Well, that's right, because this one won't be a 24-hour hit and miss, that's for sure. This will drag on for some time, as indeed the whole controversy has here at Windy Hill. But just to take you through the events of the day, this wouldn't have been a surprise to James Hird when he woke up this morning and saw the Age newspaper, because he knew this was coming. As a result of that, he needed to respond to it, which he did. It wouldn't have been a surprise to him either when he opened up his front door and saw a wall of cameras waiting for him, and also journalists just wanting to know just where he stood in this whole controversy. Now, the one thing that James Hird has done, and whether he's guilty of doing anything at all, he should be applauded for the fact that he's carried himself with a fair degree of dignity through all this. And again today he displayed his class, because he walked out of his front door straight over to the media and gave a quick grab. He can't say a whole lot, as you said, Gary. He then jumped in the car and made the trip to Windy Hill. He had a little bit of time to think about things. He was with the club Dr. Bruce Reid, who also has issues in this, I suppose. And when he arrived at Windy Hill, again he was confronted by a barrage of medias, a barrage of cameras and the like. This time, though, James Hird, he just seemed to be fighting his emotions. You be the judge here as you have a listen to James Hird, as he, I thought that the lip was quivering there for a little while as he tried to keep his emotions in check.
Look, obviously they're very upsetting claims. I just can't wait to get in and talk to Asada in the AFL. And once I've got in and talked to Asada in the AFL, I can't wait to clear my name. Thank you.
Can't imagine what's going through his mind at the moment. We believe he escaped that media throng over in Perth tonight, but it will be waiting for him wherever he goes. Damo, he is expected to front Asada later next week. I'll get that from you shortly. David Evans, the chairman of the Essendon Football Club, TJ, he also fronted the media today.
Well, he did, and that came after James Hird had overseen a very short training session. In fact, it was so short it probably wouldn't even warrant being called a training session, but it was just something to shake the cobwebs off and all the rest. But look, he looked a pretty forlorn figure out on the training track. But Gary, while all this was happening, the rumour mill was working overtime within the AFL community, and that rumour being that he would actually be stood down as senior coach today, and there was only one person who was going to answer that, and that was the chairman, David Evans, and he came out at about 11 o'clock to try and set the record straight. And keeping in mind, this wasn't a great mate of James Hird going into bat for his great mate. This was a chairman trying to address an issue about his senior coach.
The board will not be making a decision about these allegations today, and it is extremely important that James and the others be afforded the opportunity to talk to Asada and the basic right to natural justice. James Hird is a person of great respect at this club and indeed the football community, and the board will not be making decisions about the next steps until the processes of the review and the investigation take their course. As I said yesterday, the board has made it clear that the health and the safety of the players is paramount, and that if anyone at our club has breached the duty of care, the board will act.
Yeah, well, there was no pulling any punches there from David Evans, and that last paragraph in particular sent a pretty clear warning to anyone here at Windy Hill. If you've stepped out of line, then you can pack your bags and get the hell out of here. Now, of course, James Hird and his team then boarded a flight over to Perth. They had 4 hours or so away from the media, 4 hours just to think about things. But of course, once they landed, the media was there waiting again, and they went through the whole process. And as you said from the outset, Gary, this process will continue for quite some time yet.
TJ, thanks for that. We might get you to stay there and just listen in, and if you've got anything to add, certainly jump in. Damo, we go back to you. This article on the front page of The Age here, it is explosive in so many ways and provocative. It points the finger at James Hird, and we'll get to the detail of it shortly. But you're a journalist, you've been in the game for a long, long time now. They don't go with this sort of stuff, would they? You can answer. You can tell me.
When you see Nick McKenzie's name and Richard Baker's name on an article like that, you have to read it and you have to take it at 100% face value. That's what I do as a journalist, and that's the question you're asking. Having said that, we need to then factor in what James Hird has said about the certain claims made by Stephen Dank within it. And as we know, James Hird is denying everything. Stephen Dank is denying any wrongdoing. He has from the outset. All these people will have their time in the sun when the official investigation is underway. I spoke at length today to Greg Stanton, who is Stephen Dank's lawyer. He wouldn't come on camera for reasons that were his own, but as I said, guys, he's not backing away one bit. And what he also made very clear, that James Hird denying what Stephen Dank said in that article is not something that he or Stephen Dank is worried about. We'll just take a look at this statement which he provided the Footy Show only a few hours ago. We're not trembling at the knees at what's been published, and when that was a question about James Hird's denials of certain things. We've got no fear. If it gets to a word against word situation, we have no fear. The truth will always get you home. Quote by Greg Stanton. They're just not backing away one little bit about what they have said about James Hird.
Okay, so when you read those sorts of things, straight away your mind thinks that maybe they've got more information, irrefutable if you like, and then, so what we've seen in recent times, over the last 3 or 4 hours, is the publication of a text message conversation that's alleged to have taken place between James Hird and Stephen Dank.
Yeah, and the legitimacy of these text messages we'll have a look at, and it's been, as you say, Gaz, now been out there for more than 3 hours, very widely reported in all media. Just an example, Hird, good work today, mate. The boys are up and about. We have a lot to work with. Dank, IV starts next week. Thymosin, ubiquinone. We'll start to see some real effects. We go on. There's other examples of these conversations. Again, we've put it to Essendon that are these texts...
Is the players taken out in your best 22? Hirdy says Eddie, his alleged to have said at his best. Yes. Why? I'm just working out his injections for the year as an older, leaner body. I might infuse him more, particularly for recovery. I often IV the older bodies more. There's another one here. I also know that they are trying everything they can, this is in regards to another team, in supplements and recovery modes to win this premiership. Hird, but not as good as us in that area. Now, one text message that we haven't seen is, this is new. Dank, that is IV list that will be completed by Wednesday night. Hird is alleged to have said, looks good, mate. Any chance of another player coming into it? And then Dank says, sorry, has been done, accidentally left off the list. James Hird alleged to have said, thanks, mate. Now, in itself, they don't hang James Hird.
No, they don't. They don't. And they certainly don't prove that he injected, as is alleged by Stephen Dank in the Age today. It doesn't prove anything by way of Essendon wrongdoing. There's the drugs in question, taken a certain way, may well be under the WADA banned substances list. But you're right, they don't. And as we said, Essendon is refusing to comment on these particular text messages and even obviously within the context of the text messages themselves. But it's been widely reported tonight.
OK, Damo, so James Hird very clearly has stated his innocence. He wants his day in front of Asada, and that, I think, is really important for us all to recognise. But secondly, is he, as a coach of a football club, bound by the same rules that these two gentlemen sitting over here are? If a player is unable to take a substance, is a coach able to because he's not having a play on the weekend?
Two ways of looking at it, JB. If he's doing it on his own and not involving anyone else at that footy club, there's technically no problem for him in that front. Where it comes under WADA, and this is what the AFL knows to be the case, where it comes under WADA, if his involvement with an alleged banned substance, which he has denied, and he is seen to be forcing or involved in conversations about the use of a substance, it's banned, on certain players, that's when it becomes a WADA issue. And these questions need to be asked. And you say James Hird hasn't had his full right to say. He hasn't. They've set aside 2 days, next Tuesday and Wednesday, for James Hird to have his first interview with Asada. That's 2 days they've set aside. I've spoken to his own lawyer today. No comment at all. Wouldn't even confirm those days being the case. But other people have told us 2 full days set aside for him. It seems strange, if you want to use a word, or just maybe it's normal practice in the eyes of others, that he has yet to be interviewed at all. There's been certain players officials on the Essendon staff who've been interviewed multiple times. The CEO, Ian Robson, was one of the very first quite a few weeks ago. James Hird hasn't been, and will have his chance on Tuesday and Wednesday.
And get a comment from Sam shortly. Back to you, TJ.
Well, the one thing that I didn't get today was an emphatic denial from James Hird. And I think, he only spoke briefly on 2 occasions, but in neither of those occasions was there an emphatic denial from James Hird about these allegations which have been levelled against him. What he did say was he looks forward to actually clearing his name. Now, when David Evans came out and effectively said that James Hird's position is staying as it is at the moment, I reckon the landscape changed from the moment those text details were revealed on 9 News tonight. And I dare say that the moment that they were actually revealed on 9 News is when there were meetings underway in Perth. And I think the club would have been duty-bound to actually say to James Hird, is there anything else that we need to know about here? And I think the other thing is that I wouldn't completely rule out the fact that James Hird, not tonight and maybe not tomorrow, but whether he might actually be stood down. Not because he's done anything wrong, not because he's incapable of coaching, but I just wonder whether he's got the mindset to actually coach at the moment. We're forever told that it's one of the most stressful jobs going around. Now, James Hird, and we saw that here in the car park this morning when he arrived, he is under enormous pressure. He looks like he hasn't slept for a week, and at some point the club would have to sit him down and say, James, are you in a fit state of mind to lead this football club? Because if you're not, we've got a plan B. And you always have to have a plan B, and Essendon is in the nice position, if you like, of having Bomber Thompson here, a premiership coach. Now, he would begrudgingly take on that role, but if push came to shove, they would affect plan B, I would have thought.
I think it's a legitimate point, Tony. Samuel, while you're sitting there quietly, before we get Damien's thoughts from an AFL point of view, you've spoken to Andrew Demetrio, I think, in the past 24 hours. You've huffed and puffed a bit, and you've been
I wouldn't
staunch
rely
supporter.
on those people, even if they told me Hitler was an unpleasant person. This is a hodgepodge of rumour and innuendo, a contrived pseudo fact-finding mission which no one has been able to prove in any circumstance at all, and that is an absolute disgrace. If you're not involved directly with playing sport, you can ingest cockroach semen if you like. You can inject. As we said a month ago, when this all finally settles, something may well have happened to Essendon that is not correct. But as we sit here again, this is an absolute disgrace, and I'll make an appeal now to Essendon. If you'd like to send me a membership form, I'd like to join your club. That man, James Hird, and I don't give a stuff if he said I was a good bloke or we gave him a cap. He is a star. That club is a great club. And until they have been proven to have done anything, this is the greatest lot of crap I've ever heard, and they should be held accountable, those people, for writing shit.
Well, they are accountable.
They're not. They're not. And as I said, saying James Hird's under pressure, he looked very calm and relaxed. He's not going to hand over to anyone. He's competent, capable, intelligent man who can handle it.
I agree with all of those things.
Well, then,
but you can't say that these people aren't accountable. Of course they'll be accountable in every way, shape.
We have found Essendon and him guilty, and now it's up to them to prove themselves that they're innocent, and that's not the way it works.
Who's found them guilty?
Oh, mate, what do you think that stuff's about? This is just innuendo and rumour.
Well, all right, I'll go to Damien.
It's contrived, factual finding nonsense.
I understand.
Come on, God, it's like the Nuremberg trials. This.
I just need Damien Barrett to spell out whether or not the gravity of this situation is real, or is Sam saying it is manufactured?
No, it's very, Sam, it is very real. You and I have had this conversation
many
times.
I didn't say the gravity wasn't real. I said I've said this a month ago, hung, drawn and quartered Essendon. No one has said anyone's done anything illegal. Why is it's just a nonsense fact-finding.
They've admitted, I mean, as you know, they've admitted to irregularities themselves. They've asked for an investigation.
Irregularity from whom?
By themselves. No, into their practices, Sam.
That's procedural.
Exactly.
That's nothing to
do with... That investigation now, Gaz, the Ziggy Switkowski one commissioned by the club itself, is now the crucial next step. The ASADA investigation is going to drag on forever. Andrew Demetrio and the AFL obviously has the rule 1.6 to deal with, and that's been in place since...
1.6 is what, for people?
It's the rule that brings the game into disrepute. It's the one they apply against all people, and just effectively, as abridged as it is, conduct unbecoming or prejudicial to the interest of the AFL must not engage in conduct which is unbecoming or likely to prejudice the interest or reputation of the AFL or bring the game of football into disrepute. The Ziggy Switkowski report will formulate a part of the AFL's overall findings on it. It may actually be enough for them to act solely, but there's still a strong belief that the ASADA finding, which could be as late as August, maybe even September, will be the one that they wait for to finally come down on Essendon.
James Hird has to sit here and wait until August to find out where he sits.
He basically does, Gaz, yeah. The 2 days set aside next week, and then there's not one player yet to have been interviewed by that. That's scheduled for early May at this stage, so not one player, as it stands right now, will be interviewed by ASADA until the early weeks of May.
So, Damo, with all the noise, and you know, there's no bigger noise than the front page of a metropolitan paper, is James Hird any more guilty today or less guilty today than he was yesterday?
No,
that would be a good answer.
It's a good question, and it is as it has been from day one, Sam. He's no more guilty, no more innocent. He's denied everything.
Innocent. He is completely innocent until found guilty.
That's maybe the best way to sum it up.
You're putting a spin on it, like
Sam. He's got questions to have asked, and that's why he's going to have them asked on Tuesday and Wednesday.
He is completely innocent, as Essendon are, until found
James's
guilty.
Question,
you want to remember
James's
that's
question,
how it works.
100%.
Very nice work. Thank you to Damien Barrett, also to Tony Jones, who's been across this since the early hours of the morning. TJ, thanks for that. Busy day ahead, I would imagine, tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And when we are looking for someone to give us a definitive view on all things football 2013, we'll be coming to Sam.
Yeah,
Tony Jones.
Right. And how you could judge that James Hird looked under pressure and looked a bit worn and battle-scarred is beyond me. He looked very relaxed and very capable when we saw him in all those grabs.
It is in the eye of the
Well,
beholder.
I can tell you now, Sam, that we were out here, mate, and he did look under
I'm sorry,
pressure.
I'm watching it on television. I've got a feeling it's exactly the same.
Well, Sam, I can tell you some people look vastly different in real life than they do on television.
Hey, TJ, thanks for that. We appreciate you giving up your time tonight. Tony Jones. Before we do go on, Jim, just want to reiterate that, as Damien said, those text messages haven't been verified, Damo, so we'll watch with great interest how that unfolds.
Well, the club hasn't commented on them, and we as a footy show haven't been able to verify them, but other senior journalists around town have.
They've verified them that they're real, have they?
But as we said, Sam, they may not mean anything. It is an establishment of a relationship.
Exactly right, Dave. They may not mean anything, but let's be on the defence and find him guilty and then see if he can prove himself innocent.
Yeah,
Gary.
I think you've made your point there, Foss, but
you should be...
I think the...
I tell you what, if Melbourne had any sense at all...
Don't go down that line, mate. That's a pathetic way to go.
Let's get this game started. Thank you very much, Damien Barrett. The Fremantle Footy Club hosts Essendon at Patterson Stadium tomorrow night. And this is suddenly a very big game. Both teams undefeated. Fremantle have been in very, very good form, winning at home and on the road. And Nate Fyfe is an extraordinarily good player. The Bullets have had an unbelievable time of it. 2-0, and Joe Watson just keeps getting better and better. The only thing they haven't done is played particularly well at Patterson Stadium. I think they won one of their last 7 leagues. What do you think is going to happen here?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how these two sides shape up against each other. They've both started the season with 2 wins, and you know, Freo in great form. So I think they'll be just too good over there at Patterson Stadium. I think.
Coxie, you know the ground better than anyone?
Yeah, I'm totally agree with Dids. I think be interesting to see Watson and Crowley. If Crowley does go to him, done some fantastic jobs over the time. And as you said, Nate Fyfe, absolute superstar of the game. Ability to read the ball in the air, but also generate contested possessions as well is making him the player he is.
Essendon incredible so far, but I'm just thinking Freo very, very good. Ross Lyon's a star, and I think they'll get up in a very close one. And having a look at the Freo Dogs match last week, the goal umpire goes down. He's actually a doctor, and he diagnosed that his knee was off and he needed to get out of the game. Liam Pickham taking his knee out. So that got us thinking, sports officials getting hit. So we've gone to the tapes to find our very best, and this is what we got. 1966 goal umpire, look at him. He goes down. I'm right, I can get back, I'm going to signal a goal. Hang on, oh no, someone's just shot me again. Not good. Sav Rocker on the goal umpire. Have a look at this, just squashes him up against the post. And he goes down too. Come on, mate, pull yourself together. Phil Carman, headbutt on the boundary umpire. And take that, not very happy. And what about this one? We certainly don't condone that, but we do like the footage. Boxing, this is a fair hit. Down he goes, knocked out. Bit like Sam Newman.
Vic Patrick.
What's this? What?
That was Vic Patrick.
There you go. Have a look at the baseball. He gets this right in the nuts. Here it comes. I've got it. Oh! There goes my nuts. Rugby league. Have a look at the ref. He gets hit once, and then over the top, the opposition player, bang! Knee in the head. We look at it from a different angle. How about a knee to the head? Oh, there we go. And the javelin official. We love this one.
Oh, no.
Here it goes.
No,
it's going for a world record. Oh, it needs to straight in. And he tries it back. It cost him a couple of metres. You've got to throw the other way. That's courage. We love our sports officials. After all that, you give a tip? Tip Freo. All right, Samuel?
Well, you would think, because I'm on Essendon's, but I agree with Shane, it'll be a very close game. I reckon Freo probably would start favourites because it's there.
I'm with you, Samuel. I also am tipping Fremantle, but I think the Bombers will give a good account of themselves. We've dealt with Essendon, we will deal with Melbourne.
Yes.
Look forward to that.
Oh, you know who they need, don't you?
A massive 148-point victory. Essendon's second greatest winning margin ever against anyone in their 107 17-year history. And this is not a great sight if you're a Melbourne fan.
What an insipid, rubbish performance that was. They are that bad, it's embarrassing. They're never going to win.
I sat there and I cried tonight.
I don't think you can coach. The risk management has been an absolute disgrace. This is a crisis now. Their whole credibility is at stake.
I feel for only one way out of this, and it's together.
We're in a performance-based industry and the players aren't performing at the moment.
Mate, we're just going to stick tight as a group. As a group, we really got to stick together, find out who cares about the players.
The bloodletting has begun at Melbourne with Chief Executive Cameron Schwab resigning.
At the moment, we have a divided supporter base. Cameron polarises that.
Don put it to me that he felt that it was in the best interest of the Melbourne Football Club that I resign.
We're in the business of winning football games, and we're a long way from that.
Yes, tough times for the Melbourne Footy Club. Close to a 150-point loss on the weekend, as we all saw, to the Bombers. And Gaz, unfortunately, every time anything happens at the Melbourne Footy Club, we turn our attention to you, rightly or wrongly. Were you surprised with what happened in the middle of the week?
With the sacking of Cameron Schwab? No, not entirely. He's always been, as Don pointed out, someone that hasn't been wholeheartedly embraced by all sections, and if they have determined that that is going to help them arrest what is a really sad and sorrowful state, then so be it.
Gary. Don McClarty
Don, that's who I said, yeah.
What?
That's who I said.
I'm repeating it. Don McClarty said, the main thing is solidarity. And then the next breath said, we're sacking Cameron. What is, you can't, this is just...
That's what he's saying, I think.
Solidarity and then sack someone.
He's a polarising personality.
Mate, I'm a polarising personality. I've been here for 20 years.
We can't sack you, though.
Hey?
Because you're a superstar and you keep winning, that's why.
What's wrong, Gary? What's wrong with
patronising.
him?
No, don't start.
You are.
I'd rather you abuse me.
No,
don't start
you're a
that
star.
Gary, what's wrong with them? They had a really good pre-season. There was a lot of talk they were going to improve and work their way up the ladder. What's gone wrong?
Well, they trained well.
They did, yeah.
They trained well pre-season.
Well, no, I certainly didn't see what happened in the first game against Port Adelaide. I thought that they would have been much more competitive and much further advanced, Shane. Now, without going to training and watching them prepare and seeing how they...
Why don't you go to training?
Because that's not my responsibility. It's hard to put a finger on it. And then to see what happened, I think I said last week, I always judge teams on how they respond to really bad losses like that. And then to see last week, which was twice as bad again. I mean, it's a shambles.
What about from the recruiting point of view? Over summer, you got in a lot of experienced players who were pretty much coming towards the end of their career.
I'm glad Samuel sees
it. Do you agree with that, the way the path that they went down? It's failing you.
The recruiting over the journey has been looked at in the past 4 or 5 years, and they've got that wrong. There's no doubt about that. But, as has been pointed out to me, you also got to take some responsibility for developing the players that you recruit. So they've had first-round draft picks that are no longer at the football club, a whole host of them. So some responsibility lies with the development program. So you've got a recruiting issue and a development program.
And it's all about the supporters as well. They're doing it very tough at the moment. And have a look at this man right here. You can't get out there and play. It's all about the players just having a real crack. And this man here, I really feel for him. I feel for the Demon supporters at the moment. It can really rock your world. Each week, it plays with your emotions.
That's not funny.
You have the ups, you have the downs, and at the moment, you can't get any further down. I'm not happy with that. That's not funny. I'm not saying that's funny. I'm saying people's livelihoods are affected because of you. It's your fault.
Are you enjoying it?
What's that?
Don't laugh at the supporter base.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm saying, do you understand what it's doing to these supporters?
You're
ripping their heart out and you're throwing it on the ground and you're standing on it.
That man's name is Sean Dux, and he is in fact here with us tonight. Hello, Sean.
You're there.
Yeah.
Come here, Sean. Now come here.
On Sean.
Gary, come here and give Sean a hug. Come on, give him a proper hug.
Yeah, time will come. Hang in there, all right? Good to see you, son.
Yeah, sorry, boy.
best, mate.
Good on you, mate. Well done.
That's what I'm talking about!
He's a big man, Sean. He is.
No doubt
Melbourne
about
Ice.
Hey,
Remember that?
you're on ice?
No, Melbourne Ice.
Oh, sorry. What is Melbourne Ice?
The ice hockey team that's around the corner where we're here.
You don't stand on ice, do you?
No, I'm a
Be a
supporter.
thick base of ice if you're doing it.
I like it do better than you.
What's that? Mate, he's heavy.
He's doing it tough, but you're going to hang in.
He's
ain't
not
you,
doing
Sean?
it tough. Oh, you
Well,
might be
of course
just a supporter of Melbourne, but you're not doing it tough any other ways. He's a big man, Gary.
Hey, mate, you are a true supporter. So
Thanks, Gary.
you've
Good
got
on
to
you,
hang in, mate. We appreciate your support at Melbourne, as we do always. So
Good luck. Very good. Let's have a look at the game. The Melbourne D's taking on the West Coast Eagles. Dean Cox's mob. And we're going to have a look at the D's. And what have they done this week? Roden, Gillies, Please, Watts, Wickerson. They're all out, but in comes Jeddah. Frawley was very good. One of only a couple that really stood up. Evans, Peterson, Tapscott, who's tough, and Bale. And the West Coast Eagles looking for their first win. Can they get there? Dean Cox reckons they can. Lacroix and Kerr, two of the very best coming in. Dean Cox, 118 Supercoach points. Who needs Nick Nat Nui, Dean Cox?
Yeah, it'd be handy having him out there, but yeah, a couple of really important inclusions, obviously.
Shit. I'm going for the West Coast Eagles. Sorry about that.
You're right.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, so just obviously haven't had too many inside 50s the last couple of weeks, so an area we've worked on throughout the week, and hopefully we can improve. And
There you go. There are the odds
There you
for
go.
sports bet. What do you think, Lids? Here, Jack Darling, by the way, playing game number 50, a very talented young man.
He is. Coxie assured me in the break that he's still the number one man down at West Coast and will be for some time. So on the back of that, I will be going for West Coast to notch up their first win here at, where is it? Blacktown Sports Park, it says here.
Yep. Frost?
I haven't got my pipe and jacket, Gary, but we are doing no worse than West Coast, North Melbourne,
That's true.
Greater West Sydney, St Kilda, Carlton and Brisbane.
That is
We're
true.
doing no worse.
That's true.
We've won no less games than they have.
A game outside the 8.
A game and percentage, not the best, I'll say that.
Touch percentage.
Gary, I don't think we've reached rock bottom yet. This could be a 200-pointer. I reckon they might lose by 200 points.
No, we just want them to be competitive.
What?
We just want them to have a crack and
We
be
want
competitive for 4 quarters. That's all.
I tell you, unlike your good self, I think I'm more of a supporter than you. I've been down at the MCG and they're training well.
And they're what?
Training very well.
You've been down there?
Yeah, watching
When
them
do you go
train
down
over the summer. They've trained the lights
They
out.
don't train at the MCG, so you're watching the wrong team.
Well, that's why I probably thought the team I was watching were training well.
Gary.
Yes.
Is an administrator's popularity or lack thereof with the supporters grounds enough for him
Bloody
to be
good
marched out of it?
question.
Well,
Good.
if you shut up for long enough, we can ask some decent questions. Is that grounds enough for an administrator to be marched out of the place?
It's something I hadn't heard of before, it's fair to say, Jim. So it's unique to have sacked a CEO on the basis of popularity.
We've got our answer there. Let's...
no, look, I'm not making light of this at all. And we're going to talk to a man who's in the same boat as I am in terms of being in the media, and you have to front up and talk about it. And it is soul-destroying at the moment. And as Shane said, it's a simplistic thing, is to go along, and we will be there on Saturday, we're calling the game, and you just want to see a competitive effort from your group. And the hard thing, the really painful thing, and I try to be honest when it comes to Melbourne, is I'm not sure how competitive they will be against the West Coast Eagles. And that is, it's an indictment on Melbourne at the moment, and there's no escaping that, because there are times, and your team, the Kangaroos, we watched them lose by 100 and something points in Tasmania, and you can wear that, as I said, but the response is what matters, and that's the challenge, is the response needs to be there on Saturday. And I would love to be able to say it will happen with some sort of degree of surety, but I can't. I'm being honest right now. I'm looking at the side and I'm watching what took place on Saturday, and I'm not 100% certain. So hold my breath and hope. Like hell that it is competitive. I can't obviously see them being the West Coast Eagles, and nice that they introduced 2 All-Australians to play on Saturday. But we want effort. And I tell you, a man that gave effort non-stop when he played for the Melbourne Footy Club. He's the best footballer that I played with in my time at the Melbourne Demons over 16 years. Struck down at his absolute peak by injury. But he was also a member of the Footy Show panel, and it's the time of the night where we present the baggy blue, the time-honoured baggy blue. So, Billy Brownless, who have you got in the audience?
Thank you, Gunda. Favourite of the Demons, of course, more popular than you, is this man here, David Swartz. While we're talking Melbourne, we'll present you with the baggy blue in a minute, but while we're talking Melbourne, you met with the President today, Don McClarty. What was that about, and what did you say, and what did he say?
Oh, couldn't say much really, other than there's a lot of people out there that are willing to help, and some are in a position to do so and some can't, and everybody understands Gary's position and we respect what Gary's been able to do for the club, but there are a lot of good people out there that are willing to put in and offer support, and it's not about a free meal or it's not about a membership, it's about just getting down there and pulling up the sleeves and doing what we can to get this great club back up and going.
So what happened today? What are you going to do? You're going to go on the board, or...?
Well, it's pretty clear that the footy department is battling. The board itself has done a really good job in getting the finances to a point where the club's competitive, but if you're not winning games, it's fruitless, I should say. So from here on in, the club and the footy department need to find other ways of improving, and I'm sure that's going to happen with the right heads.
Yeah, you've been a star, no doubt about that. 173 games for Melbourne, kicked 243 goals from 91 to 2000, best and fairest in 99, 3 recos too during that time. 27 panels you're up here on the Footy Show. Panellist number 66, David Swartz. Well done. The Baggy Blues. Footy Show. What do you remember?
I don't remember. I remember being very...
Yeah, look at you.
Where are you? Oh, no. Yeah, I was very... I had hair, bloody lot skinnier, but it's one of those things, I was that nervous. So I remember Brett Lover coming on and he lost about 4 kilos in fluid, and I think everyone who comes on for the first time is always pretty nervous, but it's a credit to the show that it's still going.
The incident that we all get asked about every time. The famous pie incident with you and Sam. There it is there. Now, was this set up?
Whoa!
Look at that. Look at that. There it is there. And you've just gone up and gone bang!
You know, it's funny, I still laugh at it, but I remember driving back to Sunbury that night, and Big Siggo came around. He said, "Right, let's get in the car and go fix this old prick up." And I told him I was coming here tonight, and he said, "Don't worry, we're still going to get him." So it'll be. It was.
How many letters did you get after that?
Well, I think Sam was fighting with Adelaide at that stage, South Australia. I had 6,000 letters that came through from Adelaide fans saying that we're going to drive over and we're going to fix him up as well. So he knew how to make friends.
But it wasn't set up. Just for everyone out there, it was not set up, that.
Well, Sam will tell you. No, it wasn't set up. I played my 150th against Collingwood, and I'd lasted 7 minutes. I had a corky, and he said, I don't know, I can't exactly remember the words, but it was because you didn't go well against the Pies, here's another one. So it was lemon sorbet, Sam.
What's that, mate?
It was lemon sorbet, the pie.
I know, I tasted it for about when you rammed it down my throat. I hit the back. Eddie, who was the compere at that stage, the host, he had Chris Tarrant sitting there, and all he could worry about was getting Chris Tarrant out of the way because he thought there was going to be a blue. Not that is that Chris Tarrant? Yeah.
Yeah.
He pulled him out of the way. He just didn't want him to get into a fight, Gary. Anyhow, would it be too late to apologise, or?
No, we all forgive. We forgive down at Melbourne.
Oh.
Yeah, forgive and forget.
Well done. Mate, you've been a star.
Absolutely.
Well done, mate. Thank you very much. And Gazza.
Good on you, Ox. And great to have you back down there. And whilst we're going, Shane.
Yes, it gives me great pleasure to present Dean Cox. 1-2-6. There you go on that very tall and wonderful head of yours. And 1-7-6 to Brett Delidio. Well done, congratulations. Come back in blue.
We're in very proudly. Great to see the Ox in. Let's have a look at this next game of footy. North Melbourne take on the Sydney Swans Saturday down at Blundstone Arena. What about the Kangaroos? Had this game in their keeping, went down by 4 points to Geelong. Wright and Hine come into the side. Out goes Harper and Jacobs. Mullet, the young man who's an rising star, did a very nice job. They play the Sydney Swans, the reigning premiers, who are 2 wins and no losses. Don't know about the booing. They've got away to a nice start. Armstrong comes in. Reece Shaw goes out with an injury. They are just ticking over, played GWS and the Gold Coast Suns and have won without being overly impressive. And before I go on, it is the Heart Kids Cup, North Melbourne and Sydney playing for this weekend, dedicated to providing support, encouragement and hope to family of children with heart disease. As many would know, Glenn Archer and Jared McVeigh's families have been affected by heart disease, and Arch will present the winning team with the trophy on Saturday. So it's a massive game, Shane, down at Blundstone.
It is. North Melbourne have played Collingwood and Geelong, have come very, very close, I reckon. Sydney have played GWS and Gold Coast. So I'm just thinking North Melbourne in an upset down there in a close one.
Coxie?
Yeah, just obviously North Melbourne played some fantastic football for 2 losses, but I think the Sydney's ability for their midfielders to kick goals, obviously Kennedy, Jack, McVeigh, O'Keefe, will really put scoreboard pressure on North Melbourne, so Sydney for me.
And I'm, this is good, thanks Shane.
Great cricket man.
Pardon?
Great cricket man you were.
I tried my best.
Right out, flat out?
Pardon?
Wicket?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I'm also going with Coxie and going with the Swans there. I think they'll just be too good down there.
Still, by the way, the misconception this game sold out, so get along. There are still some tickets available at the gate to get in.
This is a belter. This is
it'll be a ripping game.
A very good side. Mind you, Samuel, I need to say this. It seems I've copped it all night. Jim,
what?
Your football side got to a 7-goal lead against Geelong.
Yep.
They had it in hand. They played beautifully. They prepared well. The roof was open and it started to rain. And that was the end of the story.
No.
Yes, it was.
No.
And Scotty wasn't happy either.
Right.
He went
Well, fair
over.
enough that he wasn't happy. It rained right at the end.
A little bit of rain.
Well, Gary, if the thing can be shut with a roof, why wouldn't you shut it?
I know that, but a
Little
bit
bit
of
of
rain,
choking.
it's an outdoor game, Jim. You've got to be prepared to play under some sort of pressure.
How'd that happen? The roof
God's sake, Jim, get over it. It's only water, man. Man, is that worrying you? Of course it's not worrying you. On that point, Gary.
Probably wouldn't have gone that far, but you made your point.
Just a little
Water,
squirt.
Gary, doesn't matter how much there is of it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I said a little tickle wouldn't go astray, like from a bottle, but...
Gary, could I just speak quiet? Could I make the point, Gary? Why would you... I know this has been done to death. Why would you build a purpose-built stadium with a roof and not shut it? A, because the sun shines in players' eyes, and B, because it might rain. And if you want to know what sort of dinky little country we live in, apparently we're not allowed to shut the roof while the game's on or while the crowd's in.
Occupational health and safety.
One of our great assistants was here to hand me a microphone because mine's blowing up, and he has absolutely crapped himself.
I thought he'd stuck a snake around the back of me or something.
Stand up. Shit. Stand up.
Roscoe.
No, why would you have a stadium that you don't shut? What is that about?
Roscoe gave your leg a tiny little tickle and you hit the roof.
Just so he wasn't electrocuted.
Gary.
I agree 100% with you.
Because you can't see in the sun because
No.
it's built the wrong way.
No.
And what's OHS got to do with the roof shutting while
Because
there's...
a screw might fall down and hit someone in the head along the way.
What?
Oh, we're going to take a break on the footy show. Coming up is Sam's mailbag.
You knew about that.
Oh, no. Thanks. Welcome back to the Footy Show. Saturday week 210, the traditional slot on a Saturday afternoon at the MCG. Collingwood take on the Richmond Footy Club. And I tell you what, we know the Magpies are up and about. The Richmond Footy Club could also be 3 wins and no losses by that stage, and there will be no bigger game in town than this one. It is Nathan Buckley up against Damien Hardwick at the MCG. The two senior coaches of that game. Buckley will join us live in the studio next Thursday night. The two coaches of two of the monster clubs in the competition. Looking forward to that. Jim's off drying himself. That was a nice touch, boss.
Well, Gary, you're rabbiting on about. I mean, honestly, it's really it's water, man. It's
exactly
water.
It is. Let's get on to you. Yes. Haven't introduced it yet.
What?
Haven't introduced it yet.
Hello, Jimmy.
Oh yeah, no good. Been abused by everyone.
Pick yourself down, Jim. We're about to get stuck into Sam's mailbag. Wardrobe.
40-year-old abusing me.
This is Hazel of Yarram. Dear John, are you stepping out with anyone at the moment? If not, you can leave your hush puppies. Remember I said I went up with Doug Wade and he opened the case and hush puppies.
That's right.
You can leave your hush puppies under my bed any time you want. I have left my number with your producer. Have you left a photo, Hazel? No, but Gary, we want to see who we're trying to go track square with.
Lovely.
We don't want untoward.
Come on, get on with it.
I was sad to hear that everyone that appears on your show gets one of those baggy blue caps, but not you. Well, I wouldn't, Hazel, because I haven't been a panel member. What a disgrace. So I have knitted you something, John. I call it a saggy blue. This is it here. And,
Oh, no. Look at this.
No, it's Gary. Gary, with winter coming on, I'll enjoy those mittens. They're not quite big enough.
No, I'm not sure they're mittens, old force.
That's a mitten?
I think that's for the old snag, I think. You'll find.
Cockage and plum.
I think so.
That's for the cockage and plum.
Which bit where?
What?
Which bit where?
Left a generous amount of room for the old... Have a look at that.
Put it on.
Maybe in the ad break you can give it a run for us and see if they've got the measurements right.
We'll have to let the plums go down a bit lower than that. Right now, okay. I thought it was a mitten. Of course, it'd be a mitten for you, Shane. See, Arthur. But Arthur? Is this not Arthur? I reckon I've put a wing on his beach house. He's been in that many times. Dear Sam, I want to thank you for all the work. This is Arthur. Give me on the Footy Show. But I also want to apologise for the sketch last week when you played Jeff Kennett and I played Alistair Clarkson. The content didn't worry me. I thought it was a pisser. Nicely put, Arthur. I was more worried that I went too far when I was on your back whipping you. Now, that is true. I did say to Arthur, please give us a whipping, but, you know, make sure it's my buttocks. But no, Arthur had this wire coat hanging. He ripped the living suitcase out of me thighs. I had welts there. I've just got rid of the welts, Gary.
Well, can we have a look at it?
Hey, small man, have you got some power? He got over exuberant, I think. And did we apologise to Alistair Clarkson?
We had some text message. Speaking of text messages, we had an exchange after the show, and
what is he? He's angry.
I'm okay. I'm not sure you.
Well,
two.
it wasn't.
I'm not sure you
two. That was your idea.
Bull dust. I've told him, and I've squared it off. So
Look me in the eye and tell me it wasn't your idea.
It wasn't your idea. Come on.
Isabella and John of Cranbourne South. And as I look at it, it's Cranbourne North. Sam, a lot of people teach their birds to sing or say, hello, cocky. Hello, cocky. We haven't. We taught ours to respond to your name. I've seen this, Gary, and this is a disgrace. I don't know why I read these things out. They could have at least got it to say something complimentary. I'm told they hold a photograph of me up, and this is what the cocky says.
Do you like Sam Newman? What's Sam?
If you want to be a part of this high quality Melbourne Victoria 3001, sounds got that back at 9. or footyshow.com.au. That is funny.
Like that. What did it say?
No, I'm not really sure.
What did it
You're an
say?
idiot.
Idiot was one of the words.
Did it say that?
Now, Sam, let's get stuck into the footy. The Tigers 2-0. Western Bulldogs in the MCG. And we're looking forward to this game enormously. Richmond momentum is starting to build, and Jackie Boy Revolt, one of our favourites, kicked a nice bag full on the weekend. The Western Bulldogs, not as good, played host to the Fremantle Dockers and fell short, but they've got lots to like about them. They're staying in games for a long time and hanging tough. The Bullies. Shane, what do you think's going to happen here at the MCG Saturday 1:45?
As long as Richmond are really switched on, I reckon they can certainly win, but the Dogs are tough and they have a real go, and they need to make sure that they're 100% ready to roll the Tigers. So, and can I just say before we move on, Tyler Fishlock is a young man who is doing it pretty tough. He's a young Oz kicker and a Tiger fan who lost his sight to cancer in 2006. There he is with the Richmond boys. And we're trying to raise a bit of money for him and get right behind him and his family through this very tough time. So there are all the details right there, or you can go to aflozkick.com.au/Tyler and get behind him and show a lot of love. He really needs a big helping hand. And we
Richmond
have no
Footy
doubt
Club have been magnificent in
they
regards
have.
to Tyler, haven't they, Lids? He's been adopted by the whole family.
Yeah, he certainly has. You know, from starting when he was really young with Kane Johnson, Nathan Brown and Matty Richardson, all spending a bit of time with him. And more recently, you see the boys there, went and saw him Good Friday, I think, and just spent a bit of time and had shared him a bit of love, I suppose.
Coxie, who are you liking in this game?
Yeah, I think Richmond will make it 3-0. I think Koch, fantastic, unbelievable. So, interesting stat though. Tommy Liberatore, #1 clearance player, #1 tackler, #1 centre square clearance player, Sam, for someone that was suspended last year and has come back and started the season really well. So, fantastic.
Great story, actually. Just tell us quickly about Nick Vlauston, the young man who was taken as pick #1 for the Richmond boys. What sort of
Tig, he's going really well. He's come in and basically just put his head down and shown a lot of respect to the older players. But he's going really well and probably not too far away from a debut.
And Sam, the last time the Tigers won 3 in a row was 1995, and what happened that year? They made the prelim. So there you go, Tiger fans. Might be something happening down there at the moment.
Samuel?
Gary, what? It wouldn't have mattered if you got up. It wouldn't matter if you got up.
Why?
Because it wasn't your turn.
Not your turn.
Why didn't you put it up when he was talking?
It's because I had to wait for the camera shot.
Not your turn, Gary.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, camera which way? Oh, camera left? No, Gary, you can't
I'd like a
jump the gun.
replay on that.
It doesn't matter.
think
It
I'd
wasn't
make it.
your turn. It was coming to me for a tip.
I'd never get
Let's
a
have a
tip
look at a
there.
replay, see who was up first.
geez,
certainly.
a replay.
Here we go. Sam got it up first, I think, and we don't hear that said very often.
Right, you can have it.
That would be a first.
You can have it because coming up you've got to pay the penalty from last time. So
We do the mice into the box.
I was going to say I haven't got my head around
You
that.
will
What
in a
is that?
moment.
Hey, it's coming up soon into the
I hold
Perspex
you
box.
responsible if they lose, mate, and that's serious.
Gary.
Yes.
I know you're about to take us to the next game, but very quickly, well done to Glenn Archer too. I don't think there's a person in Australia that speaks at more charity functions for nothing than Glenn Archer, and he's turning up at that one too.
Because he's a very fine man, Jimmy Boy. Now, I've got to keep pushing on because I want to get to the mice. GWS Giants take on St Kilda at Martin on Saturday. Tell you what, the Giants haven't won, but they've been going very, very nicely. They made one change. Reid into the side. Reece Palmer is out with a calf. Lockie Ridfield, the young boy, playing his second game, had a wonderful game last week. They play St Kilda, who were also winless after 2 games. 14th on the ladder. A new player, 2 new players. Tommy Lee, pick number 13, he's a forward, and Nathan Wright, very talented young man who will play across half-back. Beautiful kick of the footy, so looking forward to seeing him in action. They are going well, Lids, the Giants. They just haven't been able to secure a victory. Are they a chance?
Absolutely. They played St Kilda early on in the pre-season, I think, and got the job done. But after playing St Kilda last week, I think they might be too strong.
Ooh, all right, Coxie?
Yeah, I think St Kilda will register their first win.
Yeah, I think definitely the Saints and their experience. And just to clarify, so Bulldogs, Tigers,
Yes.
you're going with who?
Yeah,
For your certainty.
Tigers?
Are you picking the... Okay. Just wanted to know.
Well, I said...
And what about GWS and St Kilda? Who you going?
Gary, surely you're going to pull the card out. I just noticed, did you notice the new man, Tommy Lee? And the bloke on the interchange bench immediately under him was Jones. Did you see that?
What powers of observation?
Well, I just looked at...
Don't say you don't concentrate. I'm telling you.
The
Who are you tipping
stuff.
here, Giants or Saints?
Well, I'm going just for the Saints.
Just for the Saints.
Well, you pick your certainty.
What?
Go put the board up.
Well, it's not my certainty, no.
So you think
I think
very
the Giants
tough
are
from
a
here.
very good chance.
Gary's going elsewhere with his certainty. We're going to take a break, but Shane goes to Essendon for street talk, and Sam gets his head into a Perspex box, which is going to need to be big because he's Essendon. Lots of mice in there.
With your hard styles.
Chicken dance, done that at a mate's wedding.
Oh, no. Those ones, that's the chicken dance. Macarena.
The Macarena.
Oh, the nut bush is a favourite of mine.
I've been known to do the caterpillar, Michael Jackson moonwalk.
Yeah, favourite dance is soul.
Just enjoying the work.
What about the Greater West Sydney boys watching on from there? You reckon they were getting enough humour out of it?
He was all right, Toby Green.
He was. What a oath he was.
I did enjoy Coxie's suggestion. A bit of caterpillar and a bit of moonwalk. Coxie, up. Come on.
Obviously carpet there, but I'll do it if I have a few beers at the end of the year thing.
So if you don't make the grand final, grand final footy show, grand final footy show in the review.
Come on, just give us a little sample. Just a little sample. A little sample.
No, we might save you for the grand final footy show, Coxie, if the West Coast Eagles don't make it.
Caterpillar.
What do you got?
Never in the history of footy shows has a player needed less encouragement than Shane.
Why are you going? Because we've got mice over there that are going to go to sleep, so I've got to keep moving. Shane, Geelong take on Carlton. Shane, Geelong take on Carlton.
Murdoch comes in, and Stevie Johnson in for his first game for the season. That's not good for Blues fans. He's a star. We love him. And have a look at the Blues. Can they get their very first win? Well, they're up against the Blade like Casbock Ball. Bootsma there, all out. Joseph comes in, Hampson's in. Buckley, well done. Scotland, good to have him back, and adds a lot of class floating around there. So there we go. I think the Blues will do it tough against the Cats. They're flying, and I reckon in a close one the Cats will win.
$2.40 spots at sportsbet.com.au, the Blues.
Yeah, Geelong too strong for me.
I'm going to disagree. I reckon Carlton will just get up. Real close one.
I reckon Carlton will get up too.
Do you? I'm tipping Carlton in an upset as well. We are going to keep moving through this. We want to get to the mice. Port Adelaide take on Adelaide. Or to be Derby showdown. What is it over there?
Hey, it's a showdown. Don't worry, Gary.
Port Adelaide are in good form. They have got Cassisi, Ranulph, Gray, Robbie Gray, very good player, more into the squad. Redden is out injured. They have had 2 wins, no losses, got over the top of GWS. They play the Crows. Back on the winners list last week, John Cockledge and Kerridge come in. Otten to play game number 50, a young boy Crouch made his debut, played wonderfully well. Thompson back to his very best. Dangerfield, 2 late goals to get him across the line. This has got plenty in it this game. Don't worry over there in Adelaide. The Port Adelaide side fancy themselves in a big way against the Crows. Shane, who are you liking?
Kane Corns will stop Dangerfield, which is not an easy thing to do, and I reckon that'll be a massive advantage for the Port Power, and I reckon they can win, and hopefully this cheese will spark up those mice a little bit later.
Oh, yeah, nice one. Foxy?
I think Port Adelaide will continue 3-0. I think they'll be.
Do you?
And I agree. I reckon they're just going really nicely at the moment. Really nicely.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Samuel, your man, Tex Walker.
Tex, Skywalker, Ranger, whatever your name is. You got till the end of the month, mate.
He played all right last week, didn't he?
Bagged a couple.
Bagged a couple in a low-scoring affair. Low-scoring affair.
Now, come on, mate, Lift. I can't support you any longer, or I'll have to come over there and teach you myself. Might bring the fark. Surely you're going. I'm picking Adelaide.
I am too. I'm going with the certainty because.
Which one are you going with?
Big certainty.
Well, I've got no teams left.
Yes, Shad. You've got the whole of this 2 more games, Shad.
Yeah, well,
Gold Coast, Brisbane.
Too close.
And Collingwood and
Too close. This is the last one I've got. So no great confidence, but hopefully Big Tex will fire up and
Adelaide,
kick a bag
you're
for
saying
the
you're a
Crows
certainty.
to beat Port Adelaide in the showdown.
That is, have a listen to that. All right, we need to get to a break. I'll tell you what, Sam very shortly does an in-studio stunt that's going to take a hell of a lot of courage, so don't go anywhere on The Footy Show. Still to come on a monstrous second half of The Footy Show, Croft has a devil of a time in street talk. And you can't miss this. The fossil pays the price for tipping the dues. These little buggers will be all over his massive head. I love it.
Welcome back to The Footy Show and welcome to our James Bogues Team of the Week. They're in the audience. And right behind us, the Templestowe Footy Club and the Warrandyte Footy Club. And once again, James Bogues Draft are donating $1,000 to each of our panellists. Dean Cox, who's going to get your money?
Dampier Sharks.
That's right, and Brett Delevio, Kai Abram, Gary's mob, very, very good. And we're going to get straight away into it. North Albury up against Myrtleford. Have a look at this for a mark, an absolute ripper. And away we go. It is a beauty. It's kicked in nice and high. And up we go into the sky. That is Gary Lyon-like flying over the top, just looking to the crowd and then falling to the ground. What do you got, Dean?
Next is the Victorian All-Stars versus Tasmania. Big Dermy Brereton, 15 metres out.
Oh, kick
a little
this.
bit further, you said 15.
He'll kick this.
There he goes back, lines up.
Come on, Derm.
And absolutely makes a meal of it.
Oh! What a disaster! Damn it! I think he snapped something. And what's the next one?
The third one. Lockleys versus Port District. 16-year-old Kane Cornish playing for Lockleys. Get the ball in the back pocket, takes a couple of bounces, steps around a bloke. Give and get back. Has another bounce. Keeps going. Runs like lids. Yeah, the handball to the ground, so you do get it back. Did that very well.
Come on, you can do it!
Inside 50.
He's not going to kick it, is he? He is! What a beautiful piece of play. And the crowd gets behind him. What a beautiful... I'll tell you what. Have you grown a bit? Fantastic. So, did we like number one? Number one, the very nice mark. We like that? Yeah! What, do you like that?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Now, geez, you're tall. What about number two, Dermot having a shot for goal? What about number three, bouncing all the way down the lane? Congratulations, you have won. Yes.
Thanks to James Bogues Draft, our weekly winner takes home $1,000 cash, while our runners-up receive $500 each. Sponsoring over 150 local clubs, James Bogues Draft is a proud supporter of grassroots footy. At the end of the year, our runner-up pockets $20,000 cash thanks to Deep Heat, providing fast, temporary relief from muscle aches and strains.
Deep Heat
is the stuff of legends. Thanks to our great friends at Home Timber and Hardware, our major prize winner box full of $40,000 cash. That's going to come in handy for that renovation you always wanted. So if you want to do it right, go where the tradies go, Home Timber and Hardware.
Get your entries. Go to footyshow.com.au. Get involved. Unbelievable prizes, Gary.
GPA Box 9, Melbourne, Victoria 3001. Or go to footyshow.com.au. Upload a video. The best prizes in football.
Did you hear what that idiot said when Dermot miskicked
Yes, I did hear what he said.
Must have snapped something. What would that be, Shane?
Nothing.
All right, the mice are on their way. They're whipped into a frenzy. They're coming. But Lowe, we've got to look at this. Gold Coast versus the Brisbane Lions, Saturday night at Inchicon. Gold Coast Suns, 1 win and a loss. Went down to the Swannies by 41 points. Gary Ablett was kept relatively quiet last week. Just the 24 touches, did a very good job. Charlie Dixon played very well. They take on the Brisbane Lions. This will be a very good game. 17 yet to win. Lost Adelaide by 19 points. Had their chances. Polek, McKeever and Mays come in. Carnisi's, Leicester and Beams out. Sam Mays, new recruit, pick number 8 in the draft 2012, 18-year-old. Very nice player indeed, boys. Lids, this is probably going to be the closest game between these two teams up there.
Yeah, it looks like it. If Gary Ablett was subpar at 24, I'll take that any day. But I think Gold Coast will be too good.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Ooh. Wow. There you go. Yeah, you big Coxie?
No, I'm going to go against him. I think Brisbane really impressive most of the game against Adelaide, so they'll be too strong.
I'm thinking sportsbet.com.au are running another cracking money-back special this week. During every game in round 3, if your team is ahead at three-quarter time but loses the match, sportsbet.com.au will refund your bet. OK, so if your team cracks, you get your money back. Last week, Carlton, Brisbane, North Melbourne. What happened, Jim? You're all cracked. So guess what? People got their money back. So head to sportsbet.com.au and I'm backing Brisbane.
All right, Fossil?
You nervous?
I reckon the Gold Coast might win too.
Do you?
Yeah, that's at their home ground.
What are these here, please?
I'm going to put them on.
You will not be putting any of that on, thank you.
You've got to go hard.
You're going nude head into the Perspex box.
You want to make?
No, he's no, buggery.
No, you're not kidding.
We're going to take it. Gary, did you get a tip in? I think you did. We're going to take a break. Sam with his head in the box and lots of mice next.
Sam Newman here for Street Talk. No, it's not. It's a devil in disguise, and we have ventured out to lift the spirit of the demons. And where would you do that? Welcome to Essendon.
There's a demon today. Watch here.
Hello. I'm playing for the demons. I'm about to run out. You're coaching.
You're an idiot. Sorry to say that, but... Yeah. We'll see where that ends up if you keep doing it.
No. Hey, look at this. Oh, what are we going to look at? Oh, what does it say? It says... Awesome. I'm a demon. What advice can you give to me?
Be good at it.
Oh, I'm good at it.
You find me attractive?
You want to make out with me, do you? Hi, I'm the demons! I'm a demons player. I'm ready to go. What are you going to tell me? Inspire me.
Like, you look like an idiot, okay? You're scaring me, okay? Just back off.
Whoa, biggest hold on quarter.
Oh, really? Do you want to hold the mic? Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. You can interview me. Are you a bit nervous?
Just a bit.
No, it looks very nice. Well done. Oh, have you even got it on your nails?
Oh, yes, I had that done last month in Laos. I was over there.
Right, well, give us a twirl, please. Give us a twirl. There we go. And a twirl right around. That's it. You're going to tell the players how to play. What are you going to say? Right down.
Hard, demons.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Can you say, go D's? Go D's.
Go D's.
A bit more.
Go hard, demons.
Get the hair off your face.
You can do it. You can do it.
You can do it.
Hey. Bit more.
Go hard, demons.
You're weak as piss. Back each other up, for f***'s sake, boys. Come on. Am I going to swing?
Well, you just did.
Just try harder. Do well.
Yep.
You'll be right.
Who wants a spot next week? That's it. Smash them. Because these are all shit. That's it.
That'll give him a lot of confidence.
That's about it, mate.
And just basically pressure. Just go for the ball.
Well, I'm not a coach. Sorry. Beep, coach.
How do we help the demons?
This is my interpreter.
Oh.
I speak Spanish.
You speak Spanish?
Seriously, where's the intent, the want, the need? By God, back each other up. Show some f***ing heart, boys. Dead set. Show some heart, because you're letting down a great traditional cultural club. Look at you. I can't. I really can't.
Try and get the mark or the goal of the year, whatever. Que está hablando a los jugadores Le tienen que inspirar, tienen que decir algo.
Yes.
Aim for the big 2 sticks and not the small ones.
Why are you going for this team now?
Well, we're just trying to help them. We're trying to help Gary. He's a bit sad.
Gary, you can kiss my ass.
Back each other up. Show some heart. Don't duck your head. All that type of shit you've been told already, for f***'s sake. Just grab the ball. Go back to the under-10s. Go back to the under-10s.
You should try your best. I don't care if you win or lose. I just hope that you try your best and have fun.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
I'm inspired.
I'm Laura.
Oh, no fighting. Hey. Mwah.
Say bye, Bombers.
Bye, Mamas.
You're a dipshit.
Another one. All right. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Welcome back. Very nicely done, Shane. That will inspire the Demons now. We're here because Sam tipped his certainty and he elected to go for Melbourne against the Essendon Footy Club. And it hasn't quite worked out for him, and we just want to remind you of Sam, I think it was 2 years ago, when he had to go out the Demons, suggested they weren't playing well, Jim, and this was akin to their game plan.
Took the piss, Gary.
Yeah, and one bit him on the finger, which we really liked, and he didn't enjoy it, so we thought.
So now here he is in here.
Yes. 24 goals was the margin
this is the water
that,
payback, Jim, is
That's
it?
it.
that he missed by. So he played his cards,
Piss
so
off.
we thought
Go away.
24 mice into the perspex box and just leave him there for a while. I'm going to get out of the road because I like mice.
I've got a little black and white here to start off proceedings.
Yeah, get
Hey,
in.
this is Paul from Amazing Amazon, by the way. Help me. Have we got a tight shot of this
Yes.
little baby?
Get him in there.
Get him tight. Here he is. All right, he's the first one in. On his head. Let's go again. Here's a little all black. On his head. On his head. All right. That's 3 on his head. Now I'm going to do a group crop. Here we are. Hold on. And they go. Another one. Hold on. In they go. Right, Lids and Coxie, take over. All right, go on. In you go. Coxie, get around there. Nice.
So he's got about 18 in there at the moment. We're getting in the last quarter.
24 mice.
Oh, I like the...
24 mice. Chuck them in. Get them in.
Tails
That's it.
hanging out there.
Oh, nice. Now the boys from Amazing Amazon. All in, please. Come on, all in.
Just a bit more.
Here we are. All in. The lot. 24 mice. Look at the top. Have a look at them.
Oh, no.
Fossil, how's it going in there?
How are you, mate?
Boss, how are you?
Oh, shut up.
Now, the best way to get rid of mice is snakes. So,
Come over here. Come here. Right. Well, I think...
What happened?
You got one down here,
It
mate.
wasn't. It wasn't.
Come on.
Sam, I just on behalf of everyone and Melbourne supporters all around the place, you deserve that, but you showed great courage and fortitude, and I think you did a very good job.
Well done, Foss.
Well done to Sam Newman. We'll go take a break. Welcome back to Footy Show. He's a great man. He tipped the certainty. He lost 24 mice for the 24-goal margin. He was going okay, then Shane dropped a little snake on his lap, and then he lost the plot. He tried to get out and forgot that his feet were strapped to the chair and still couldn't get out. And The good news is 24 mice went in and 23 will go home.
That's it. Well done, Fossil. I thought you showed great fortitude in the face of some mice and a rubber snake.
We're just hoping, Gary, that whoever you tipped...
I tipped Adelaide, so please...
...can just lose.
Hey, thanks very much to Nissan Navara, of course, Home Timber and Hardware and sportsbet.com.au, great friends of ours here at the Footy Show. We need to get stuck in to this last game, and it is massive. Collingwood take on Hawthorn. Great to see Daisy playing footy for the Maggies again. Jolly will be a big out with old Baldy Hale playing very nice football. And Nick Maxwell's also going to miss the next 8 games, and Maxie will be a big out too. As we take a look at the Hawks. Sully out, just overworking himself, but Mitchell in the middle there doing beautiful work. And of course, they have won, Shane, 8 of the last 11 against the Magpies.
Yeah, they seem to go all right against them, but I'm loving all the young kids at Pineland. They're doing a great job. I'm thinking the Hawks in another real close match.
All right, Coxie.
I want to go with Collingwood. So obviously, Quentin Lynch played with us for a number of years. Had to fill in for Darren Jolly and did very well. So the big Q stick's going all right
what
over
about
here.
Ben Hudson? He's going to play at least 50.
Yeah, at the minute retires a few times and gets called back all the time. So
it's a good effort. Well
yeah,
done
huge
to you.
effort.
Lids?
Hawks for me, I think, just too strong.
Well, the ex-coach says that Collingwood is one of the really good sides in the comp, along probably with Hawthorn. So I'm going for Collingwood. Now, could I just say, Gary, a man who I played against called David O'Halloran and played under Don Scott in 1976 Premiership and played in the 83 Premiership. He died suddenly today, had a heart attack. He was the 1982 VFL Player of the Year, played 160 games for the Hawks, was a Victorian representative, and as I say, played against him and played under Don Scott, so we can extend our condolences to the O'Halloran family and a great man, a great Hawthorn man, sadly missed.
Well said, Foss. As very big Hawthorn supporter that I was as a young man, I used to follow David O'Halloran very, very closely. Hey, we appreciate the panel coming. Coxie, we know the Western Australian boys, we don't get to see them too much, but you always support us, mate. So thanks for coming in and good luck, not too much on the weekend.
Thank you.
And to you, Lids, going beautifully, the Tides, if they get over the top of the Bulldogs, they play Collingwood the week after. It's just going to get bigger and bigger. Thanks for coming in, mate. Well done to you, Sam, Jim, good luck to your side the weekend. We'll see you next Thursday night at 8:30. Good night.